Noticed that on ESPN. I get multiple emails. Shirley actually rooting for another woman on the team. Ron tuning anything other than a pink top fuel car. Having a multi-million-dollar sponsor offer me a program outside the driver's seat. That was amazing to me. Strivectin paid me one of the biggest compliments of my entire career with that single one phone call. I could, and I would love to go on with some of the finer moments I've enjoyed through the years, but I promised myself that I was not going to hold you hostage here tonight. I wanted to use my time to recognize the people that stayed so loyal to me. How am I doing, hon? Throughout the ups and downs, and the friends that helped me achieve so much in the sport. Of course, my mother, May, and my wonderful sister, Linda, they've always given me so much love and support throughout my entire run. They couldn't have been any better to me. My biggest fan. They loved it when I put Bernstein away in Vegas. Without my husband, Ron, none of the great stuff would have ever come my way. Ron provided the skill, the organization, and the know-how that took me to so many wins. I cannot thank him enough for all he did, for all the years that he devoted to my career. You're wonderful, babe. The trophies and all the honors belong to him as much as they belong to me. Knowing what I know today, I can only envy Doug Coletta and what's in store for him down the road. Connie couldn't have hired a better guy for Doug and his team, and I can't help being a little jealous. Conrad Coletta played a major role in helping me and my first husband, Jack Muldowney, move into the fuel ranks. Jack had no problem proving he could tune more than just a gas dragster. Nothing wrong with gas dragsters. They kind of helped put me where I was in the early days. I can't forget to mention the late Concho Rendon for giving me my first top fuel ride. And my sponsors, like Mac Tools, Goodyear, who developed that front tire on my behalf, and Fred Wagenhals at Action Performance, and Fred Simmons from GM Racing Division. I want to thank you for that trailblazer. What a gift. My longtime crew members, some of which were with me to the end, they helped me make my career truly a memorable one, and all the stories I could tell you. I must get my one and only, you must get my one and only book, as Bill mentioned, Tales from the Track, and it will fill you in on some of the guys that work for me. Guys like Pat Galvin, a member of my '82 championship year. He's still one of my closest friends today. My son John Muldowney, who was always good at whatever he did and could make things interesting at times. Retired Colorado fuel driver Mike Rainey, who chose to park his own top fuel car so he could come and work for me during my match race years. The Seattle guys, Darren Katz, everyone knows Darren, and the Prudhomme recruit, Dana Kimmel. The whole California gang would fly in, including Donnie Couch, who always remembered to bring the baked goods and the macaroons. He worked for Hawaiian Bread for a number of years, helped me fill out my fire suit. And Donnie and Matt Corey, whose real business is waste management when he's not at the races. I could, of course, call him at any hour for just about anything, and he would get it handled. So you must all watch your back around him. I have some friends in the house tonight that were kind enough to join me, and I would like to take a minute to introduce them and thank them all for being here. My sponsor and friends from Strivectin, Gina Gay and Kenton Phillips. Those are the guys with the money. No proposals, please. Kenton has adapted to the sport of drag racing like he's been there all his life. Strivectin's knowledgeable motorsports director, Fred Miller. Fred's induction into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago was well-deserved. All of the Coletta Motorsports Group, including our boss, Jim Oberhofer, his new driver, Hillary, Will, and her car owner, Ken Black, and our media man, Todd Myers, who does such a great job with the media, I can now believe my press releases. Ben Marshall, who seems to be able to handle just about anything that needs doing, including test driving. Something I could never do. I couldn't jump from car to car to car, as Grubby does. It's just, it's an art. And I always knew that I was best suited for the car that was set up for me, and that was a good way to stay out of trouble. The Technicoat Cowboys, Bob Connor and Glenn Williams out of Las Vegas. I truly thank you both for your friendship, for flying in early tonight, and most of all, for all the Crown Royal and the sponsor dollars. Tony Merritt and Carla Hauk. I'm sorry, Carla, I have a problem with your name, saying it. L's are tough on me. And all the people at Mac Tools. Finally, I would like to close by thanking Don and Pat Garland for giving me this opportunity. I enjoyed the years we raced together, Don. We really did have a lot of fun times, not to mention the fights. Remember when I deliberately threw stones at you when I was pulling up to the water box in Union Grove? That'll give you all some idea of just how tough I was to deal with in the early days when I showed up for those open shows. Don, I've always hoped that you have forgiven me for that one. Recently, I've been reading that nowadays it's considered more or less a put-down when you're referred to as a woman race car driver or the fastest and winningest woman driver. Titles like that are only an interesting side note, according to one lady driver. To be quite truthful, I've never had any problem being referred to as a woman race car driver or that woman driver. Why would I want to deny that I was indeed a woman in a man's sport? A racer that somehow managed to be successful at the highest level, competing alongside all the men. There were a lot of tough guys out there back in the early days, and I enjoyed every minute of it. My whole life I've enjoyed being a woman, and I don't really think there's anything wrong with the title Woman Race Car Driver. No. I feel I can be proud of that.